You want shirts? I got shirts.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
What is up, heroes of Dominion? My name is Charles. This is Hero Wars Central, and today we're going to talk a little bit about Markus and where I feel he lands in my tier list. Before we get into his skills, abilities, glyphs, artifacts, all that, take a look at the on-screen tier list here. There are 5 tiers. There is the tier that you would, if he's a strong enough hero to build a team around and he fits into every single team, he can bring utility against certain teams but doesn't necessarily need a team built around him. Then there's the other side of that. You would build a team around him, but he doesn't provide utility to every team. You have those player versus environment heroes, campaign tower, outland kind of heroes only. And then finally you have my lowest tier, dead battery tier, and these heroes I would not recommend to anyone, either because they're bugged or too weak. And these would be heroes that I would not recommend to new players. And how my tier list differs from others, obviously, is that it's a little bit more utilitarian in that it does not rank heroes by power level. Instead, it ranks heroes by usefulness and team composition. In a lot of tier lists, there are team combos. You won't find any of that with this, unless specific circumstances dictate, and there are a few. So let's talk briefly about some of the silly things about Markus. First of all, he's a frontline healer, right? He is tanky. He appears to have armor. He does have some armor. He looks kind of like one of those battle clerics, like a holy paladin or a healer paladin, a holy monk maybe. I'm not sure what his aesthetic is supposed to be, but he is a healer. He's a support. He is a frontline hero, and there are not many heroes that go in front of him. So he ends up being in the second position more often than not. In some cases, he's actually even in the first position. Main stat being intelligence, because he's a healer, makes a lot of sense. So let's get this out of the way. He has a physical attack glyph. Okay, he has a lot of other glyphs that benefit him as a hero, but the physical attack glyph will benefit his basic attacks only. None of his skills are modified by physical attack whatsoever. There is no other stats in the game, such as dodge, armor, magic defense, that are augmented by physical attack. There is no reason why he has a physical attack glyph. None. Okay, moving on. He has 4 skills, just like everybody does. 3 of those are heals, and 1 more is an ability to let him last longer. First, we have Holy Shield. This is his ultimate ability. Markus will cast an invulnerable shield on the ally with the lowest health, blocks all damage, including pure damage, for 5 seconds, and heals the ally up. This is a very strong single target heal. This will protect a squishy hero from being devoured by the enemy's Kira or Kark or whatever, while also simultaneously protecting them and giving maybe another healer on your team or that hero an opportunity to do their thing. Very potent ability, probably his strongest ability. We have Righteous Light. This is his green ability, and it's an area of effect heal. Does comparable healing to other area of effect healers in the game. We have his blue ability, which is a straight single target heal. Heals the ally with the lowest health. And then finally, his Violet ability allows him to use all available skills after he dies for a limited time. He just kind of stands there as a ghost, kind of like a Force ghost from Star Wars. If you guys are familiar with the end of a couple of different Star Wars movies, there are some Force ghosts hanging around, protecting some wisdom. And I kind of feel like that's what Markus does, is it just kind of stands around. Moving on, he's got a couple of really cool skins. Of course, Intelligence is his default skin. He has his Nordic skin, which looks a whole lot like Odinson Thor with his Mjolnir hammer. A little bit of crackling lightning on there as well. And then his Barbarian skin, his Nordic skin is health, and his Barbarian skin is armor. This looks a lot like the more recent Thor, where he got Stormbringer and he grew his hair out a little bit, which is opposite what actually happened in the movie. In the movie, he cut all of his hair off whenever he got Stormbringer. But very Nordic, very Icelandic, very Scandinavian themed. I kind of like the Barbarian skin the most. And to wrap up his stuff, if you will, his artifact is magic defense for your whole team. He has armor and magic defense as a tank healer should. So he is going to be a little tankier than normal. And finally, of course, his ring is intelligence, being that intelligence is his primary stat. So when it comes to deciding where he belongs on this tier list, Markus is an interesting case. There is a couple of important factors you need to consider when you think about Markus holistically. First of all, he is not dead battery anymore. He does provide an appreciable amount of healing, so he is a decent enough of a healer to not be dead battery. And I wouldn't put him in the PvE hero tier either, because really any hero will work in the healer slot in player versus environment for the most part. There are some boss fights that need a little bit of tuning, maybe an armor artifact instead of the magic defense artifact. So neither one of those two. So the question then is, where does he fit between the water bottle tier, milk crate tier, and stop sign tier? So we got to think about this. We got to think about, does he fit into every single team? As a healer, 99% of the time, you could slot him in to every single team. You could. There are better healers. Dorian is better. Martha is better. Thea could be argued is on par. Celeste, different kind of hero. Maya, different kind of hero. As far as healers go, he's got probably the most heals. However, does any given team need as much healing as he provides? Would it be better to have some kind of utility in place of that third heal? For example, Martha has the speed boost. Thea has the speed boost. Celeste has the purifying sphere that removes negative effects and also toggles to her dark aura, where she prevents healing from the other team. Dorian is probably the only one that doesn't provide a ton of utility, but Dorian provides plus physical attack. He's got his, he's probably the most healy of all the most healy of all heroes, of all healing heroes, given the right positioning and the right opportunity. So I would say that yes, he does fit into every team. Would you build a team around Markus? I think you need to. I think you need to build a team around Markus. And the reason why I say that is because of his positioning. You need to make sure that there's a good enough tank in front of him. Maybe you pair him up with Ziri. Maybe you pair him up with Luther, somebody that runs away from your front line, either burying or jumping to the other side. And you need a tanky-ish second hero. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe you do need to build a team around this hero. So this is what we're gonna do. This is an asterisk hero. We're not gonna be able to effectively call this like it should be, because I don't think Markus is strong enough to build a team around. And I don't think he brings enough utility to anybody. But what he does have going for him is he is a free healer for you free-to-play players. He's a free healer that you can get relatively early in the game. And what I mean by that is, if you take a look at your list of healers that you have available to you in the game of Hero Wars, you start off, of course, with Thea. And you get the opportunity to get a couple of different heroes from the daily heroic chest, but that's all random, right? That's random. You can't get Martha hardly anywhere. You can't get, Dorian hardly anywhere. You can buy Celeste. So because Markus is available from the Grand Arena Shop, and only because he's available from the Grand Arena Shop, and you can effectively get a second healer so early without being lucky, I'm going to put Markus at water bottle. I'm very hesitant. I'm very hesitant to put him at water bottle tier. I'm very hesitant. I don't think he's strong enough to be in this tier. However, because of where he is in the grand scheme of the ability to get a healer, I think he deserved to be here. You can use him until you get Martha, until you get Dorian, or until you get Celeste for that second or third or even your primary Grand Arena team, right? I feel like he is strong enough to slot into every team, every mage team, every damage team, with some exceptions here and there, of course, depending on where it goes. And I do feel like you need to build a team around him because of his wonky positioning and because of his heals being quick and plentiful, right? Maybe on a timeout team. Maybe build him on a timeout team. I don't know. I don't know. These are my opinions, guys. Keep that in mind. These are my opinions. I am very hesitant to rank him at this, but I've laid my case out. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. On screen, I have linked back to my tier list playlist, and I'll also have on screen the most recent tier list edition, Leon. You can check those videos out at your leisure. If you do, that would be fantastic. If you don't, that's cool too. I love you all. Good luck in Dominion.